Welcome to Business and Beyond, the podcast where business leaders and big ideas meet real-world challenges. I'm Julie Wheeler, President and CEO of the BBB serving Western Virginia. Each episode, we will bring you candid conversations, expert insights, and real-life stories to help you lead with purpose, build trust, and grow your business with confidence. Hello, and thank you for joining us. I'm Julie Wheeler, President and CEO of BBB serving Western Virginia. In this episode, we uncover the growing threats lurking online and share practical, powerful steps you can take today to protect yourself, your family, and your digital life. Today, I'm joined by Eddie Worth, President of Safe Surfing Foundation. Eddie, what a topic. Thank you so much for being here with us today.
Totally my pleasure.
I think we can probably talk for days, but we're going to get started and maybe decide we need to do multiple sessions. So first, let's start with a little bit about you. How did you end up here? What's your background?
Well, I'll go back quite a ways. I started with the FBI, actually.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
I'm going way back on that. And worked up in Washington, D.C. With the Bureau for a while. And at some point, I realized that probably working with the government wasn't going to be my thing, and couldn't make a lot of money, or the money wasn't there, and I felt like I could do better in other areas. So I moved on into sales and started doing that, and I actually retired in 2012 from my real job after 30 or 40 years doing that. And during the way, I met with Sheriff Mike Brown at a convention, and he was talking, and this was back in about 2000, he was talking about a program that he had started on internet safety and could really use someone that could get out and speak in public and travel and this kind of thing, and I could. So for the past 20 years or so, I've either volunteered with the foundation, or over the last 5 or 6 years, the board had asked me if I would take over as the president of the foundation, and I agreed to do that. And so here we are today, fighting a battle that just gets worse every day.
Yeah. Well, perfect segue. Tell us about Safe Surfing Foundation. You mentioned Sheriff Brown, and I'm very familiar with him. And why was it started? What's the mission?
No problem.
Going now?
Well, back in 1998, the Department of Justice put out a bid, if you will, for police agencies, law enforcement agencies, to join what they were going to call the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force.
Right.
And they were going to pick 10 agencies across the country to pilot this program. And Sheriff Brown applied for Bedford County. He was the sheriff back then, and actually received one of the 10 grants. What had happened, if you'll remember, back in 98, that's when computers were just starting to get into homes.
Absolutely.
And once the computers started getting into homes, of course, the kids were on it. And the kids were starting to talk to folks that they didn't really know
who they were
talking to.
Yep.
And they would tell the parents, hey, I'm talking to someone, and they're asking me questions that I don't know if I should answer or not. And so that's when parents started getting really concerned. And they went to Sheriff Brown there in Bedford County and said, how can you help us? Well, since he had applied for this grant and got it, he was beginning to get really familiar with the problem of predators. But he also realized, hey, we're not going to be able to lock all these up. I'm getting way too many calls. And if I am here in Bedford County, what are they getting in New York or L.A. or Chicago? So he developed the Safe Surfing, SURFIN program, to educate children online, and that's what we've been doing since 1998. We've had folks support us and travel. Actually, I traveled for 2 years with Eric Estrada, if you remember from the CHIPS days.
Yep, absolutely.
Eric was a big supporter of ours, and he still is. But he's good. If you watch TV at all, you see him on commercials quite often, and he's gone back into TV work some. And we've had Shaquille O'Neal come down.
Right.
I think Sheriff made him a deputy, and
Neat.
they actually went out on a bus and this kind of thing. So we've had some prominent folks join us
Right.
in our calls.
Right.
Yeah.
Super important. So started as child safety, and obviously that is absolutely continues to be a huge emphasis. But why is internet safety important for everybody, for all people of all ages, and at least awareness that you need to pay attention?
That's a great question. The internet, I kind of refer
Wild, Wild West.
It is the Wild Wild West now, even, and you go back and look the number of views and chats and this kind of thing back in 1998. Well, since then, the internet's just blown up, and actually, it's probably I would compare it with the invention of the light bulb. You know, it's that big.
Sure.
It's that
Yeah,
big.
absolutely.
And
Industrial
now-
Revolution.
Oh, for sure. And with the AI coming on strong, I don't even know where to put that in a category. That's way
It's at a
above.
whole different level. Yeah,
Unbelievable.
Truly.
And that's getting more and more popular by the minute, the second probably. Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody needs to pay attention and
It affects. You go in a restaurant, and you see kids with their parents, and they're all at a table having lunch or whatever.
everybody's
and
got their tablet or
every
their
one
phones.
every one of them have their own device.
Yeah,
right.
sure.
And the predators are out there just waiting to
Absolutely.
launch.
Yeah.
And even with the elderly, the
Oh,
elderly
listen.
are starting to really be getting taken advantage of so often now.
Yes, and it's so incredibly sophisticated. I
Oh.
talk to people regularly. You know, it's unbelievable what they're able to do, what information they're able to access.
Well, with AI now, I know I'm sitting here talking to you. I can
Only
touch
'cause you can
feel
see me,
you,
yeah,
I
yeah.
can see you.
Yep.
But on the internet, we could be having this same conversation. And
Absolutely.
you would look just like you're
And be-
looking now.
Yep, and I'd be saying something probably totally different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
And it's so real. The AI has really made this real.
Yes, definitely. Well, so what do you personally feel like the biggest online risk is today for people?
Kids believing everything they see
Yeah.
on the internet. That's the biggest thing, and
Yeah.
trusting.
And what I would say to you is, because I get this argument for my children all the time, because they were right at the beginning of this, is we have come up with this, Mom. We know the stuff's not real. We know, we can discern and tell the difference. But who I see can't discern are our seniors. The ones who did not start with this, who they believe everything they see and hear. If it was on, I saw it on TV, I read it on the internet, it must be real kind of deal. Yes, young children are particularly vulnerable, and children that have not been exposed, have not had something like this, have not had education, understanding or whatever. But the seniors who grew up being able to believe people, thinking that this is something new that came into their life at a later point, there are some incredible vulnerabilities there that, are tough to overcome.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more on the seniors. Unfortunately, they grew up in a time where there was zero education
Yes.
on it. There were
It didn't
computers, there was
exist.
nothing
It
to
didn't exist.
nothing to get educated on. So,
Right.
so they're learning on the fly. And the kids, God bless them, they just like we were when we were young.
We know
thought
it all.
We know it all.
Know it
we
all,
thought
yep.
we knew it all, but they don't. And a lot of the problem with that is there's not educational programs in the schools
Right.
to teach the kids now. It's like giving them the keys to the car, but not going through
Driver's
any
ed,
type
yeah.
driver's ed or any type of education. So they really don't know what they don't know.
And I guess it depends. It's probably different, because obviously in my job, I have beat stuff into my children, not literally, but from the
Right.
time they were young,
Right.
And that level of education is not happening everywhere. So.
It's not. We've got states out there now that do not have an internet safety education program available at all. believe it or not. And we
Right.
just worked with West Virginia, with the Department of Education there, to get a law passed. We worked with Senator Deeds out of Greenbrier County, West Virginia. We helped create a law making internet safety education mandatory
Right.
to all kids grades 3 through 12. And in doing so, we had a program that we put in to offer the kids this education. And he put the bill through. And you may or may not know about the politics of all of these states.
All of them?
I'm sure you
Yes.
do. But this bill passed unanimously on both sides of the aisle.
Wow.
And that is like unheard of.
Unheard of, yep.
Governor Justice was, he's senator now, but Governor Justice at the time said that was remarkable. He didn't know that he had ever seen anything like that. So we went up for his signing of the bill, making it a law, and
Right.
we're just coming off our first year of educating over 200,000 kids in
Yeah.
West Virginia.
Well, that's huge protection.
Yeah, we've got to work in all the states to do that and get it worked in. We really do.
Absolutely.
It's tough.
Yeah. Well, how do you think internet safety has changed over the past 10 years? Obviously, the risks have increased significantly, but are there different tools, ways to protect yourself that didn't exist before? Or?
Well, there are, but this is a second-by-second thing that's happening here. 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about AI, right?
Right.
And now I can ask AI anything and get a pretty darn good answer to it. And I can see where kids were using it in school, sometimes not to the best
Get
of their
caught,
benefit.
yeah.
But over the past 10 years, it's really, really, really exploded. And it's getting into everybody's hands. The kids, it's like 96% of all high school kids have some type of device to go online.
Right. Right. And then knowing where to go versus where not
Oh.
to go is, big
Yeah,
deal.
that's difficult because again, they're gonna believe what they're seeing too, and when they're talking to a predator out there,
Oh, they're.
they can be so convincing
Yeah.
that they're a friend.
It's the same thing with the financial predators.
It
I mean,
is.
it's the sexual predators, financial predators. They are very good at their jobs, unfortunately. Very, very good.
They are, and so many of these predators are outside of the United States
Oh,
as well.
yes, absolutely. What are some common misconceptions about staying safe online?
Everybody's friendly. Everybody loves you. That's the biggest.
They're all
thing.
real.
Everybody's real.
Well, it's hard we don't want to think the worst of people.
We don't. But unfortunately, there are folks out there that are evil. There's no
true evil. You're
true-
exactly right.
Yeah, that's for sure. When you see what not even parents, but what adults can do to children is mind blowing.
Yes.
You just cannot a normal person just can't make
You
that
can't
happen
think like
in your
that.
mind. You
No.
can't think like that.
No, you can't.
And I can tell you some stories that are just, they break your heart.
Yeah.
They just break your heart.
Right. Make you want to go pull the covers over your head, never get out of bed again.
Get under the bed, close
Exactly.
the blinds, and, don't ever want to see daylight. I mean, it's
Right.
unbelievable.
How much information is too much information to share online?
Well, that also is a great question. Any personal information that you got, where you live,
Yes.
how-
School.
your school pictures of yourself.
Sure.
You're a cheerleader, or you're a football player. I had an instance. I met this mother and daughter from up in Leesburg back several years ago. That the girl, again, we're going back to when the internet was first being introduced. She started talking to a guy. She was 15, I believe. She thought he was 15, and they had connected over the internet through a chat room, and they started talking about each other's personal, where you live. She told him where she lived, what high school she went to. She sent a picture of her in her uniform to him. So he drove up to Leesburg from down in the Williamsburg area one either Saturday or Sunday, to meet her. She said she wanted to meet him because she thought he was local and everything was good. He pulls up in a pickup truck at the meeting place, throws her in the truck, goes to a motel. He's 36 years old with kids. She had just been beat to a fraction of her death. Well, now she's got 2 beautiful kids. So that story, although it was a terrible thing for her to go through, she didn't get killed. But normally they don't leave evidence behind.
Sure.
And that guy got put in jail for like 5 years.
Should have been under the jail.
Should have been. He came out. They found his black book, if you will, and he had 60 other kids' names in that he had been talking to and was going to do the same thing. And once he was in jail, his father was a state representative. He got out of jail early. He came out and did it again to another child. And now he's in jail for the rest of his life. But they let him out, which was unbelievable. You can actually go online and see their story, Vicki Johnson. Just Google Vicki Johnson's story, and you can take a look at that whole story. It's an incredible story. And Vicki, the mom, and Amanda, the girl, she travels with me. They both travel with me to talk about what happened, their experiences. It's real. It's real.
Oh no, it is real, and putting a face. Somebody that has a real story has an impact.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah. Good gracious. I can't even imagine. So we're all on social media. What privacy settings do we all need to make sure are in place to protect ourselves?
Well, one thing you want to do is make the parent, now I'm talking about, wants to do is check their settings to make sure that they limit the amount of post and who is posting online to your child. Limit that to friends only and family, of course.
Sure.
Then you can look and see who they're sending friend requests to, and you can monitor that as well.
Right.
And the biggest thing is check what's going on with these settings that your kids have in place, that you've put in place. Check those settings regularly because the kids are, to say the least, very smart, and they can go in and change things.
Sure.
And so it's always good to go in and check and make sure that they haven't opened their whole life up.
Right. Well, it used to be a big contest to see how many friends you could get. So now we'll do all these people we don't know, and you end up with predators in your friend list, and then you're posting about your life, everything, and you've just opened yourself up. So I always say only friend people that you actually know.
Exactly. You'd recognize them if you'd see them.
Exactly.
Right? I've asked in some of the presentations that I've given, I've actually asked, well, how many of you guys have 10 friends? Well, everybody raises their hand. I've gone all the way up to, how many of you have 2,000 friends? And you'll get some that raise their hand. And I'm going, well, how in the world do you know 2,000 people and will trust 2,000 people and trust what they say to you?
Right.
So it's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of a reality check. But
it is.
Well, so a lot of what you do, obviously, it's educating and helping people know what questions to ask, what to talk about. How can parents and teens have productive conversations? How do you, because obviously our teenagers are very independent and they want to be able to do what they want to be able to do. How can we help parents and teens have those productive conversations about being safe using social media?
It all goes back to the home. And the home lives are so different. And you've got every economic stage out there, right? Some folks, some kids rarely see their parents because they'll go to school, and then when they get back, their parents might have 3 jobs, and it's very difficult. But these parents need to understand the importance of talking to their kids and bring it up in a way that relates to what's going on with them or the community or something they saw on TV. Hey, Jimmy, did you happen to see where this young man got abducted over in
Right.
Richmond or something? And just kind of bring it up and ease into it, but don't back off of having that conversation. This is kind of like a sex ed
Yeah, sure.
conversation.
It has to happen. Yeah.
It's a tough question, tough subject, but it has to happen.
Right.
Because unfortunately, they're not getting it in the schools. This has got to happen at
Right.
home. And we're working as hard as we can to get it into the schools for sure.
And young children have access to devices really, really early. So what's important to help them understand early? How do you start that in that education process?
Starting early is the key, actually, to the whole thing. And again, if you're gonna give them a device that they can take into their bedroom and without parental settings on
Yeah.
this thing, you're asking for trouble. It's like you're taking that predator into your bedroom with you.
Right.
And they're going to own that child. And I'll tell you, the predators are always going to side with the child. If the
Yeah.
child's going, Mama told me not to do this, well, I should be able, and that predator's going, yes, you should be able. And what they're grooming them and gaining
Sure,
their
absolutely.
trust.
What should children do if they encounter inappropriate content?
First, they have to be able to identify it.
Yes,
First-
exactly.
First, they've got to know, hey, they're asking me these questions, like where I live or
Right.
how old I am.
Which seem innocuous.
It
You
does.
would think they don't mean anything, but
Yeah, but they'll start asking things. Hey, mind sending a picture? This kind of thing, and
Right.
it's huge. When the kid sees that, they should go straight to their parent or a teacher, a trusted adult,
Right.
and say, "Hey, take a look at this. This is what I'm getting," and then the parents
Sure.
should take it from there to call their local sheriff's office, police department,
right.
and ask, what should we do, and then they will get involved.
Yeah.
They'll take a look at it.
Well, we've kind of inferred it a little bit that it isn't, but why should this kind of internet safety be in every school's curriculum?
Well, that's like asking why we should have math.
Yeah, yeah.
It's here. It's
Right.
here to stay. It's going to continue to get bigger on both ends of the spectrum.
Mm-hmm.
The good's going to get a lot better, and the bad's going to get a lot worse. By putting this in the schools, they're getting the education when they're young. They're starting
Right.
when they're old enough to understand what the teacher is saying. They're going to learn the do's and don'ts. Again, let's go back to the driver's license or driving a car. They are going to get educated on how to properly use the internet
Right.
and how to recognize when they're being approached by predators. When right and wrong, they're going to be learning what is right, what is wrong.
Yeah.
And we've got to get it in these schools. Schools, churches, youth groups. We've got a program, and let me say this: we're a 501c3, so we're nonprofit. We're not
Sure.
in this to make
Oh,
money.
yeah, I understand.
So we've got programs to help educate children. We work with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. We have a MOU with them. We've been working closely with them for 20 years, using their programs. They use some of ours to educate kids. So we've got the programs. We just need the schools to
Let you
put
in to
them
do it.
in.
Yeah. Mhm.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And trust me, these teachers are slammed. They've got
There's so many requirements
There,
they have to meet.
my wife was a school teacher for over 30 years. I get it. But what's more important than the safety of your child?
Right. No, I don't disagree with you
Yeah.
at all on that. Well, so any of us, what advice would you give about our digital footprint?
Know that once you start putting information out there, it's out there.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Yeah.
So
It's-
minimize it as best you can.
For sure. There's a law that's being put into effect July 1st. National Center for Missing and Exploited Children came out with the way to take your photos down or take posts down. It's called the Take It Down
Right.
Act. We'll see how that works. So
To me, it's just going to be put somewhere else that it's actually out there.
I'm afraid so. I don't know. I don't want to say this something's not going to work. I hope and pray that it can. But understand your digital footprint's like your fingerprint. Everybody's got one. Nobody
Right.
has the same ones.
Well, my cynical side I'm all about anything that gives us the ability to take back some power and to reduce that thing. But you're probably going to also see scam companies pop up to help you take it down. And
Oh, for sure.
then it's,
And now they're
again,
getting the
you're
information.
putting it in somebody else's
Exactly.
hands. So,
Exactly.
well, we've mentioned it a couple of times, but artificial intelligence, how is that changing this whole cybersecurity landscape?
Changing the world.
Yeah.
No, it's changing the world. And again, it's a two-edged sword. AI is bringing on so much good. My goodness, now they're talking about let's go back to the moon again, and then we're going to set up a colony there, and then we're going to go to Mars. That wouldn't happen without artificial intelligence or what we've learned over the past 27 years. So that's the good part of it, but it's also going to give the predator more tools to use to become more real
Right.
to the kids or to the elderly.
Yeah.
It's more believable. I mean, right now, again, like we talked about earlier, the only reason I know that you're here,
Yeah, because
I
you can
see
physically
you and
touch me.
touch
Yeah,
you, right?
exactly.
Boy, when you're online, you feel like
Yep.
that.
Right.
You look like that. Your voice is the same. But it could be someone from anywhere in the world that you're talking to.
Let's talk a little bit about deep fakes, which is kind of, comes via artificial intelligence. And, why do we need to be aware that what we're looking at, listening to, seeing, who's talking to us isn't actually there?
And that's part of the future that we're living in. It are the deep fakes where AI you can create whatever you want to on AI, and hopefully we can figure out a way to identify it. But right now it's very, very difficult.
I would think that the you can use AI to help identify. It's just knowing that you need to assume that it isn't real,
Well,
and try to prove it out.
Let me give you an example. Let's say you're talking with someone online, and you I need to ask them a question. I know you look like who you are, and you're talking
Right.
like who you are. But you may want to ask, what was your mother's maiden name, by the way? Or ask something that only you would
Yeah,
know.
it's kind of the key word, the grandchild and the grandparent.
What's a safe
what did I do
word?
for your safe word, or what did we do for your third birthday?
Yeah,
or what's
exactly.
a special thing we do every birthday, or something that isn't readily available knowledge.
Just come up with a safe word. That
Yeah.
will help as much as anything to ease your mind on who you're talking to.
Right.
A safe word could be anything. Happy.
Yeah.
That's the word. Okay?
Right.
When I ask you how you doing, happy.
Right.
I'm happy.
Yeah.
Then you know.
Well, I know there's no magic way to tell whether online content is real or manipulated, but are there some triggers? I mean, is it it used to be we looked for bad grammar or something that didn't read like the person you think you're talking to is, or didn't sound right. Look in early AI, you're looking for shadows. You're looking
That's
for
right.
that kind of stuff. What do we look for
And basically,
now?
it's still the same. It's
Okay.
still the same thing. Look for the shadows. If the camera's off, if they're not pronouncing things the way that it really is.
Right.
We work with a company that's working on a AI educational program for us, and it's called Skill. It's spelled Skyll. Well, when you get AI to talk to you, they call it Scowl. So it's
Gotcha,
that
okay.
kind of thing is like, okay, this was being produced by AI. Those kind of things are something to look
Right,
out for.
right. Yeah, it's kind of like the voice I use on my phone is from a different country, so everything's mispronounced, and it really is an education to recognize, okay, that does help you realize you're not speaking with someone.
It is, and the kids have. I mean, in the last 20 or 30 minutes, we've covered a lot in this short amount of time. Well, the kids, they need that education.
Right,
They
sure.
need to have it in schools.
Yeah. What do you think the most important internet safety skills are going to be? now and in the future.
Knowing who you're talking to, if at all possible, that would be the biggest. But also know that you can talk to someone else. And I'm not only talking to kids here, I'm talking to the elderly as well, or anybody. If something doesn't look right and if something doesn't feel right,
Right.
that's a big
Yeah,
indicator.
gut.
It's a gut. And don't be ashamed to talk to somebody about it, particularly the kids and the elderly. Don't be afraid to go to your parent or an elderly
Teacher or
situation.
something, yeah.
Yeah, to your children and go, hey, I'm talking, this doesn't sound right to me. Take a look
Right.
at it. Don't be embarrassed.
Right.
Because it could be your life.
Absolutely. And I think that's something that we try to tell people all the time. Independently verify. Do not assume that what you're reading, seeing, hearing, what someone is telling you is legitimate. Figure out a way to make independent verifications. A lot on the senior side, a lot of the financial institutions are doing a lot now.
They are.
That to train to stop some of this stuff early, to talk to them and to try to help them,
Right.
which is fabulous. I know kids sometimes don't want to talk to their parents, but talk to a teacher, talk to a
Exactly.
neighbor, talk to another friend who may have more, understanding away from it. They're not in the heat of it. They may say, that doesn't sound quite right. But, always don't get caught up in it so deeply that you're not looking outside of it.
You're not in this thing by yourself.
Exactly.
Believe me. One of our programs is a peer-to-peer program. We've learned over the years that kids listen to kids a lot quicker
Absolutely.
than they do their parents.
Of course they do.
And that's what we've based one of our programs on, is educating the older kids in high school, like the 10th and 11th, or the 11th and 12th graders. We will give them lesson plans on different subjects, whether it be sextortion, cyberbullying, human trafficking, whatever is going on at their school, for these older kids to put a presentation together to go down and talk to the younger kids.
Right.
And that is working great across the
Sure.
country. So peer-to-peer is where
Yep.
it's happening.
There used to be a lot on drug abuse, and I'm sure there probably is some now still, but early on, trying to help get the high school kids to talk to the middle schoolers, about awareness. So that makes
platform
sense.
works.
Yes,
That platform
absolutely.
works
Yeah.
better than a TV star or
Sure.
some gray-hair guy coming in. And I've
Well,
traveled with
yeah.
FBI, see all of the
Sure.
three-letter agencies talking to kids, but they're not listening.
Yeah.
Not like they do to each other.
Right. Yeah. Yep.
Team Cyber SWAT. SWAT stands for Safety While Accessing Technology, is the program that we've got.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah, we developed that about almost 10 years ago now, I think.
Yeah, I would think that would be
Yeah,
amazingly effective.
It
You
is.
can get it.
it is, and it's
Places.
proven.
Yeah. And it's a good leadership training for the older kids.
100%.
Yeah.
When you're filling out college applications,
Absolutely.
that always looks great on your college
Yep.
application.
So we're finishing this up. And so what do we want to leave our listeners with? What is the best internet safety tip that everyone should remember?
Probably
That's tough.
the
I'm
easiest.
putting you on
No, I
pressure.
think that's the
Pressure's
easiest.
on
I think
that one.
that's the
Okay.
easiest question today.
Okay.
Before you hit the send button, think.
Okay.
How many times have we hit the send button and then go, oh gosh, I wish I hadn't have done that?
Right. Whether you're in a chat room, a
It
message
doesn't-
app, or an email, whatever you're doing.
Think, is this something that I wouldn't have a problem with anybody else reading or seeing?
Right.
So just think, and that goes from parents and adult.
That's everybody.
That's everybody.
That is
Kids,
everybody.
elderly.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Yeah, very good. Well, that is all for this episode of Business and Beyond. Thank you for listening. And Eddie, thank you so much for being here with us. Great information. If you enjoyed this conversation, make sure you subscribe so you never miss an episode. We'd love to keep this conversation going, so make sure to connect with us on social media and share your ideas for future topics or guests. And don't forget to visit us online at bbb.org. Until next time, keep building with integrity, leading with trust, and taking your business beyond expectations the BBB way.